Welcome to the Sunset Archon channel, where we aspire to gain from night to first light. And today, after 2 months of playing other games, we're coming back to Genshin Impact, exploring the new area of Natlan. Hope you guys enjoyed the first month being Honkai Star Rail, which I hadn't played in over a year, and then another month of Atelier Yumiya. Hope you enjoyed that. Now we're getting back into Genshin Impact. Hopefully I'm not too rusty. I have been trying to at least keep up with dailies, but we'll see how we fare. Now, let's get started. I have actually entered the new area. However, I haven't come across any quests yet, because you know me. Rather than waltzing through the front door, I end up climbing a mountain. Literally.
Why me? Get back on track.
And just running around as Oressa's barrel of laughs. Alright. What do we got?
Here I go.
So far, I've just been running around collecting ascension materials for her. Making her stronger and stronger as I go. Lovely! Gotta love running for your life.
Gotta steer clear of other people. Growl, growl, growl. Yoo-hoo! Headbutt! Yeah! Smash down! Yeah! Yeah! Hi! Yeah! Headbutt! Is it over? Oh yeah, seems like it's over. 6 o'clock! Oof! Look out below! Yeah! Charge! Yeah! Did that grow out of the ground?
No, that chest did not grow out of the ground. Not that one, anyway.
Running late again.
Alright, first quest. The volcano strikes again.
Hurry up, Grassa!
Lovely.
This may hurt a little. Shower me with... Yeah! It's justice o'clock! Yeah! Yeah! Hero incoming! Yeah! Oof! Yeah! Hero incoming! Ha ha!
Oh, come on!
Too strong! Grow, grow, grow! Strike a pose! Let lightning echo in song! Letting brave names echo! Yeah! Hut! Yeah! It's just...
Okay. This does not look like it's going to be a repeat of Inazuma. So what I mean is, back then I was doing a quest, and it was in the middle of a lightning storm. I was talking to an NPC, and then it tells me, and then I get struck by lightning. And it actually hurts me, knocks me off a cliff into electrified water, and the NPC just stands there and says, "Oh right, watch out for lightning." At that point, I'm speeding through the cutscene, trying to end it quick enough for me to pull out my glider, but it's too late. I'm already dead. Yeah, last thing I need is for the same thing to happen during a volcanic eruption and I get hit by a molten rock. Wow, they just keep piling it on.
Are these edible?
No, they are not edible.
So shiny.
That was exactly what I needed. I'm so glad the developers just put these massive stockpiles of Ascension materials in chests now. Now I just need 27 more for the next batch. Three, two, one, go!
Bring it! You wanna stand down! Ah! It's justice o'clock! Oof! Hut! Hi! Yeah! Look out below! Yeah! The Temple of Wisdom! All right. This may hurt a little. Shower me with praise. Yeah.
Lovely.
Gone out. Headbutt. Yeah! Charge.
All right.
And
I'll try this one later.
losing.
I'll try that later. For now, let's go unlock these two.
Why me? Time to roll.
What the?
Everyone hold hands. Yeah. Strike a pose. Oops.
Well, that just happened.
Did that grow out of the ground?
You know, I'm not entirely sure.
Bring it.
Looks like it's more like it's burrowing into the ground. Ancient mountain path, huh? Whoa, 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 whoa! Well, that was interesting. We found a hidden passage. And a waypoint that's not even on the map. Oh. Oh, thank you.
Did that grow out of the ground? Heads up! Heads up! Whoa! So shiny.
I almost took a flying leap into lava. Okay. Nope. Okay. Okay. Doing good. Still alive.
Are these edible?
Why? I can't tell if it wants to thank me or wants to kill me. Coagulated pedestal. It seems to be a byproduct of the ancient dragon's research on phlogiston. After activating a coagulated pedestal, it can convert liquid phlogiston within a certain range of solid into solid phlogiston. Okay. All right. That was interesting.
What?
Whoa, whoa, whoa! Right, I forgot. That can actually happen. Found you. Almost feels like I'm watching Primordial Pac-Man.
Where you gotta use it or lose it. So, wanna train with me sometime? Time to roll. Hurry up, Brassa! Kapow! So a smaller dragon mechanism. Interesting. Are these...
Another war. Oh, you'll give me a lift back to the surface? Thank you. Wait. And you just ran right through the wall. So many crystal flies. A lonely sentinel. Alright, where am I heading out from? Ah. Ah. So I got another bonus from that. And I'm not too far off from where I started.
clear of other people.
There we go.
Are these edible?
Another dragon? Ah! What was that? That was completely uncalled for. Alright, need 20 more. Wait, that was the way down.
Here I go!
Well, at least I survived. Matador Monitou. A mischievous Monitou seen near the Collective of Plenty. Seems to enjoy playing pranks, constantly waving a flag to attract the Titankosaurus's charges. However, it also seems to be capable of stopping regular charges. Perhaps performing a second sprint is the key to knocking it down. If you happen to see a Monitou standing atop rocks and taunting you, don't hesitate to charge straight at it. Something good might happen. Well, I'm not hunting Monitous right now. And yet, I can't help but want to run it over.
Hurry up, Brassa! Get back on track. Hurry up, Brassa! Did that grow out of the ground?
We're not even on the ground right now. Well, at least we're almost to the teleport waypoint we were looking for. Here we go.
Hurry up, Brassa!
Rather than plunge right over there, I'll stop right here. Grab this so I don't have to climb any more than I have to. Then come over here.
Heads up!
Alright, with that out of the way, let's actually start the chronicle. I think this is the entrance I was supposed to enter from.
Hello there. Huh? Wait, you're the Traveler in Paimon! I've been waiting for you.
Whoa, you know us? Huh, we've really made a name for ourselves. Wait, but did we even tell anyone we were coming to the Collective of Plenty?
Oh, you didn't know? Coach Yan-san said she invited you to our tribe, so I came out here to wait for you while I did some training. And now you're actually here. I can't believe it. This is great.
Surely we're not that big of a deal.
You're the heroes who defeated the Abyss. You're a huge deal to everyone in Natlan. I've heard the story of Tumaini so many times I can practically recite it by heart. I've been so excited to meet you ever since Coach Yan-san told me you might be coming. Oh, my name's Maressa, by the way. Not sure if Coach mentioned me before.
Oh yeah, the name sounds familiar. During the Abyss invasion, we asked Ian-san if the Collective of Plenty needed any help, but she said that Maressa had it all under control.
Not really. It was all Uncle Akatl. All I did was clear out a few monsters. Just thinking about the invasion gives me chills even now. But that's in the past. The Collective of Plenty fared pretty well, all things considered. We finished our repairs, so now it's just a matter of helping out the other tribes. Come on. I'll take you to our camp.
Great, let's go!
Oh, just a heads up. The volcano sometimes sends rocks crashing into this area. We call them pulverite.
You seem way too...
See? There's nothing to it.
Oh, there's treasure inside these rocks! Okay, so maybe a little pain isn't too bad.
Time to roll. Hey, there's another one over there. Want to give it a try?
Huh? What's this wooden plank doing here?
Oh, it's a piece of training equipment. I use it all the time.
Training equipment?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to explain. Let me show you instead. Here goes nothing. And she sticks the landing!
Whoa! You jumped over that huge gap just like that? Incredible!
Oh, no. Anyone can do it with a bit of practice. You made it across without any training at all. That's a lot more incredible than anything I can do.
Oh, well, Paimon can fly, but you've got a point. About what you told us earlier, you're saying a gigantic rock could crush us at any moment?
Well, not at any moment. It's a pretty rare phenomenon. Many adventurers come here and never even get to see it, so I wouldn't worry too much.
Yeah, okay. It's not like we're that unlucky. Oh, come on! Seriously?
Don't be scared. Just charge straight at it.
What? Thanks for that. Paimon can't believe you smashed something that big in a single hit.
It was nothing. All it takes is a bit of training. Shower me with... Hilichurls? It's too much of a hassle to deal with them. Let's just ram straight through. I think we can call that a success.
Wow, you gave them the same treatment as that giant rock. Let's hope it didn't spew out anything.
Home sweet home. We made it! Welcome to the Collective of Plenty.
Whoa! This place is so cool! That platform shaped like the head of a bull is awesome!
That's the Resonating Arena. It's where we hold all our competitions. Don't mention it. It was no trouble at all. I wish I could show you around, but I need to get home.
Oh, did you remember something important? You really hit the ground running when we ran into those hilichurls back there.
Oh, no, not at all. We made it in time. There's just something important I have to do. The most important thing after training. The post-workout meal. Otherwise, I'll be a lethargic, dizzy, hunger-addled mess. The perils of an empty stomach. It's terrible. Anyway, I'm sorry, but I gotta get some food in me. Like, yesterday. You should grab something, too. We can meet back up at the arena. See you soon!
And she's off. Wow, talk about whiplash. 1 second she's chill and laid back, and then the next she's charging headfirst into danger. Literally. The spirit of youth. Sure, whatever you say, old-timer. Paimon thinks we're still young. Anyway, why don't we take a look around in the meantime? We can head to the arena in a little bit. The view must be amazing from up there.
It's over already. A bountiful land of farming and vicinity. I hope I pronounced that right. Alright, let's see if we can find some new shops. New shops means new materials. What do you got for me? Nothing? Use the items
A legendary
to
new
prepare puffed grain fruit
Did I
bars.
overdo it?
Grain fruit and some sugar. Sure, I'll use some sugar. I'm not too stingy about sugar. Okay, this is fascinating. Rather than just giving us a recipe, we actually get to see how it's made. Fascinating. And this just happens to be the stream where another item has been maxed. As of today, April 13th, 2025, cheese is now maxed in Genshin Impact. Along with butter and cream. All processed ingredients requiring milk have been maxed at 9,999. And unless a quest gives me butter, cream, or cheese, this is the limit. Alright, now, what to max out next? Currently, maxing out chilled meat is a fool's errand, because you can only get so many from Dragon Spine each day. Maybe about 20 if you're lucky. And nothing runs away. I'm hoping we'll be able to get some chilled meat when Snezhnaya is unlocked and released. But doing it just for a few bits in Dragon Spine isn't worth it to me. At least with Snezhnaya, I would be motivated to explore more, hunt down everything I see. So we'll just put a pin in chilled meat. Raw meat, working on it, but also using it for other dishes. Flour is done. Fish, easy. Mystery meat in the mysterious meat product. Yeah, I gotta go back in for that. I have to go back into the Sumeru Desert, deep in the Sumeru Desert for that, just to hunt down those snakes. We're close to maxing out fowl. Just another 396 pieces. Then I can start mass producing smoked fowl. Increase that by about 3,333. And then start maxing out fowl again. One more time. To max out smoked fowl for good. Hello and welcome to the stream. Hope you're doing well today. We have just maxed out cheese in Genshin Impact. So now all dairy products have been maxed. Now I'm going to start working on the processed meats, which include smoked fowl currently at 3,520, ham currently at 4,520, and bacon currently at 4,524, and sausage at 4,905. How long did it take you to max out different products? The easiest one to do is cream, since it only requires 1 milk for each cream and only takes 3 minutes to process. So I could, if I was actually playing for the whole day, I could, or a good amount of time, I could actually do 3 batches of 99 cream a day. So that's about 300 per day. So this one didn't take me long. This one took me a bit longer, since it takes 2 cream and 5 minutes to process one of them. I actually had to wait about a day for that to finish because I didn't have the time to just do it constantly for the whole day. But I managed to get this done. And cheese was the most difficult at needing 3 bottles of milk and taking 10 minutes for each one to process. And just to make this clear, I did not use any ores to speed up the process. This was all natural, because I'm also working on trying to max out ores as well. But yeah, it's a fun thing, and I already have Crab Row maxed out. That was my main goal. Now, every week when the shops reset, I spend 40 Crab Row and purchased 40 Crab Row from all the shops into that, because there are currently 4 shops that sell 10 each. Good Hunter in Mondstadt, another shop in Chenyu Vale, Hotel de Boer, I think it's called, in Fontaine, and then there is another restaurant in the Coliseum in Natlan. And as you see, I'm currently at 6,302 crabs, with only 3,697 remaining until I max out both crabs and Crab Row at the same time, which has been a goal of mine since... well, since the version when Summer Islands first came out. That was when I first figured out that I could farm crabs to the extreme. I have maxed out crabs several times and then took a break from hunting down crabs just so I could convert all of my crabs into Crab Row. Every time it hit the max, I would make about 2,500 Crab Row, and I would repeat that process 4 times until I reached this point. Now it's a slow go using Crab Row, purchasing Crab Row, and also increasing the number of crab dishes I have. And this is currently... Crab Row Koroyaki is currently at 1,793, with only 207 more to go until I max this one out. Anyone who would just come by here for the first time would most likely think I'm insane for doing all of this, but this is just my thing. This is my endgame content for Genshin Impact, and it has served me well, keeping me from going absolutely insane from what could be considered content droughts, controversy, all of that jazz. This is what I do this for. Radish and fish stew, fragrant mashed potatoes. This one was an especially crazy mess. It was part of the KFC promotion. And we all know how that turned out in multiple countries. But I actually got this recipe from in-game mail, and I enjoyed just making mashed potatoes constantly. That's one of the things I used cream on before I decided to start maxing it out into oblivion. I think when I started making the fragrant mashed potatoes, I had already maxed out cream at its current limit, because that limit was 2,000 at the time. You want to achieve something similar. Right now you're mining 250,000 wood. And you'll move on to cooking ingredients. The limit for things like flour, cream, smoked fowl, butter, ham, sugar, spice, jam too, cheese, bacon, and sausage used to be 2,000. However, that changed during an update sometime last year, where they increased the maximum to 9,999, which obviously I took as a challenge, since I had gone through the trouble of maxing these out to 2,000 to begin with, before that update. So, I will max it out again. However, Crabro has always had a maximum of 9,999, because I confirmed that by hitting 2,000 Crabro years ago, during 3.0. So I just kept on going. No one stopped me yet. So yes, the history of item limits in Genshin Impact is quite fascinating. Truly a fascinating thing. I'm not doing Adeptus Temptation quite yet, because I still need to max out Ham before I start that. I do have 10,013 Matsutake mushrooms, though. Yes, I go beyond the limit too where I can. My personal best, courtesy of Auroran, is something I did not expect to manage. 10,029 cabbages. I had 9,999 cabbages. The strange Hilichurl wasn't going to give me any more. Yet after that last Natlan event where you were trying to help Auroran save someone, at the very end, if you talk to him, he would give you a gift. 30 cabbages. And because it was part of a cutscene, it's literally forced into your inventory. And as a result, it ignores the item limit. So it just added 30 to 9,999, and now I got 10,029 cabbages. Yeah, he just shoved 30 cabbages into my pocket. Now, on the bright side, now I am complete, because no one else was insane enough to do this during that event. I am completely unchallenged for the highest cabbage count in Genshin Impact. I can guarantee you that no one else has a higher count, because there is no other quest in this game that will give you cabbages. Especially, there is no other game that will give you cabbages in this quantity. If there was ever a quest that gave you more than 30 cabbages, then you might have a chance if I didn't play at that time. But if I did play, you'd still be 30 cabbages behind. I can't believe I'm talking about cabbages like there's some kind of grand currency. Anyway, my point is I collect these materials, then I use them to craft foods to their maximum, then I collect them again. Did you know that there are 10 potatoes that you can only collect weekly on Watatsumi Island, but the number of potatoes you can collect daily is 800. 200 in Liyue, 200 in Natlan, and 100 in the other countries. Now, it really makes you wonder, how many potatoes are we going to be able to collect in Snezhnaya? Oh, most of my budget goes towards collecting materials from the shops. I just buy out everything I can, and somehow I still have enough money to level my characters and whatnot. It is a fascinating it's a fascinating process to go through all this. Alright, with that, let us continue exploring the Collective of Plenty. See if we can find some new recipes or a shop. Something we can loot. Come on. Huh. Alright. I'll take a bump. Alright. Thank you for stopping by. I'm definitely enjoying this so far.
Heads up!
It's strange though, you'd think I'd actually find a shop here. Yeah, even the people of the spring have a shop. Oh yes, I already came across one of the automated machines, and I do like that. Rather than just giving you the recipe, you actually have the opportunity to become the trigger to create the recipe, to create the food, rather than just putting everything in a cooking pot. Alright, Collective of Plenty, reputation has been unlocked. I'm already at 37%.
What?
Oh. No, it's just a keg. Oh, they made this barrier very easy to find. Sunset Blue Obsidian Ring. Alright. Oh. Use above items to prepare fruits aplenty. Grain fruit. Cacao. Quineppa berry. And an egg. Huh. Now that's interesting. We got a juicer here. And we got the Fruits of Plenty recipe. They make you work for the recipe. Yes. I like this concept. You see how the recipe... You see how the food is made, and you get the recipe as a result. As it should be. Alright, just need another small push to unlock Reputation 1. You thought I was running off that cliff, didn't you? Nope.
Oh, you're here already!
Yep, my dad whipped up something fantastic as always. He's a great cook. He can turn any protein or vegetable into something delicious.
No wonder you look so refreshed. That's the power of a good meal!
That's right. I was hoping to bring Uncle Akatl with me, but he wasn't home. So I guess you're stuck with me. Uncle Akatl is our chief, by the way. Who better than the chief to introduce you to the tribe, right? I've never given an official tour before, so I'm thinking I'll just explain things as we go along. Is that okay?
Of course! That sounds great!
Okay. Whew. Then let's start in that direction. Gotta steer clear of other people. My place is over there. See that fruit stand out front? My house is right behind it.
You have a fruit stand in front of your house? Does that mean you grow the fruit yourselves?
You guessed it. My family runs a huge orchard. We live really close to the main entrance of the tribe. So every morning, I wake up to the sound of all the people and carts on the road. That's also when my parents start work. So that's how I know it's time to get up.
And then you all work in the orchard together.
Well, knowing it's time to get up and actually doing it are two separate things. Most of the time, I end up curling under the covers and falling back asleep.
Oh, Paimon gets you. Sleeping in is the best kind of sleep. Plus, when you have the Traveler to wake you up, it's no big deal. No, that was just a joke. Don't scare Paimon like that, Traveler.
Well, maybe you can both sleep in sometime. Once I get up, I usually help my parents around the house, head out for training, then come home for lunch. After lunch is when my parents do their delivery runs. So then it's my turn to work in the orchard.
Oh, Paimon would love to see the orchard. Can you show us?
Sure thing! We'll go right after this. But first, come with me.
Oh, so the orchard has a great source of apples? So do I. And this isn't even the highest I've gotten. My highest apple count, 10,013. Typical highest you can get for items that can be acquired via exploration or the expeditions. But Sunsetia's, my personal best for Sunsetia's is 10,016, and that was the highest count I've ever gotten up until Auroron gave me cabbages. Still working on Buell fruit and the candlecat mushrooms and star shrooms. Now, star shrooms is a mixed bag. By the time 3.0 came around, I was already working to max out as much of my inventory as possible. And star shrooms had already shown up in the chasm, but only regular star shrooms. I thought I was making good progress collecting all those star shrooms in the cavern. Then 3.0 came in and threw a monkey wrench into my plans. Now, don't get me wrong, I like the way that Hoyoverse did Dendro. Finally adding it to the game and also creating various plants and items that respond to various Dendro reactions. like catalyze and burning. But as a result, I now have activated star shrooms and scorched star shrooms. So I was genuinely wondering to myself, do I really want to go through the trouble of maxing out regular star shrooms, activated star shrooms, and scorched star shrooms? Because to do that, I would have to use Electro on each star shroom I find, use Pyro on each star shroom I find, or just don't do any of that at all. Just collect them. Another thing I should mention is that I collect all of this stuff in my own world. I am not going to other people's world harvesting their resources. I plan out my routes here, and once I have the motivation, I do them daily, again and again and again, until I reach these insane numbers. It is very possible to reach these numbers just by farming in your own world. And for the crabs, I only collect crabs in my world because the way I collect them can only be done in single player. It just doesn't work in co-op. Okay, we found number 2 for that. It really is a fascinating process.
Get back on track. Oh, Coach Yan-san, are you here to do some training?
Nope, just doing some maintenance on the equipment here while I have some
Voices!
time. Oh, it's you two! Welcome to the Collective of Plenty. Look, I bought this at the stadium the other day. Wait, we've seen that graffiti design before. It's not easy to get your hands on one of these. I had to wait in a super long line.
Ooh, I bought a top with that design too. I hung it up right next to my bed.
Don't be shy. After everything you did for Natlan, you deserve the recognition. Oh, I meant to ask, what brings you out here anyway? We're just doing some adventuring. We don't have any concrete plans. We ran into Veressa on the road, and she was nice enough to lead us the rest of the way. She's even giving us a tour.
It's my pleasure.
Still keeping up with your training, Veressa? No slacking, I hope.
Yes, Coach. Did 3 full shuttle runs, just as you instructed, Coach.
Good. Then we'll continue with the training plan. As for your diet, actually, no dieting for now. As you are. Feel free to use any of the equipment around here, but if you're planning to do strength training, make sure you have a spotter.
Of course. Don't need to tell me twice, Coach.
Wait, but isn't a special diet a huge part of bodybuilding? Veressa doesn't need one? Oh, it's kind of a long story. I suppose you could say Veressa is among the select few who have a natural gift. When she first started training with me, I started her on a standard training regimen and wrote out a simple recipe plan to give to her father.
But it left me so hungry. I couldn't even muster up the energy to make it to class.
Yeah, that was my fault. It was just your average nutrition plan, but Veressa's metabolism is something else. Once I studied her eating habits, I was able to tailor it to her needs.
Yeah, Coach is really thoughtful that way. Now I feel like I'm making real progress. And the training and classes are a lot more fun.
Veressa is currently my top student. She can lift even more than me. Wait, but you're the coach and the victor of the pilgrimage. Don't sound so surprised. This kind of thing is really common in the fitness world. Everyone starts from a different baseline. Wow, that's amazing! Paimon would have never guessed. I'm not exaggerating either. Veressa is extremely strong. All she needs is a bit more confidence.
Oh, well, It's just because Coach is a great teacher. It didn't take much effort at all. Oh, believe me, I'm not. I mean, sure, I can face a few monsters and lift some heavy training equipment. But I'm useless when it comes to fighting other people. I'm scared I'll hurt someone.
Oh, that makes sense. But what about the pilgrimage?
I've never placed or even made it out of the team stage. I'm not good at fighting actual people.
When it comes to power, it's all about control. Take these weights, for example. It takes strength to lift them, yes, but also to control the weight when you set them down. True mastery means control during both motions.
I know that, and I can do it just fine during training. But whenever I have to face a real person, I start to doubt myself. Thanks, I appreciate the support. As long as I keep training, I'm sure I'll get it eventually. Well, we should get going, Coach. I told the Traveler and Paimon I would show them around the orchard.
Sounds good. I hope you enjoy your time here.
Alright. Is 10,029 the maximum possible item count? 10,029 was a happy accident. One that I did not anticipate in the slightest. But this actually opens up a whole new collection of possibilities for certain quests. So, no. It's not the maximum possible item count. There is the hard limit, 9,999. Then there is a way to go beyond the limit using expedition rewards when going to the Adventurers Guild. And then there is this example right here of acquiring items via quests just getting forced into your inventory. So in theory, there is a sequence of events that can occur that can allow you to keep piling on items in your inventory beyond what the hard limit would be. You just couldn't explicitly collect those yourself. It has to be an implicit insertion into your inventory. But by some
There's a lot that goes into managing
by some
an orchard.
grace of luck,
Watering, weeding,
the
fertilizing
developers
the soil,
have
making sure the
been very
temperature's right.
careful with avoiding that exact scenario.
You have to keep the fruit in a good mood.
As I said, the inventory limit is a fascinating topic. Truly. Both as a player and getting into the mindset of the developers themselves. You wonder what the player would do to get around it, and also how the developers mitigate this issue. Because there are certain packs that you pay Genesis crystals for that allow you to collect things like enhancement ore and also XP books. Now, if they were the reason why they can't just make the soft limit 9,999 stick is exactly because of that. Back when that update I talked about that increased the limit for ingredients also increased the limit for enhancement ores and talent books from 9,999 to 99,999. However, it was still possible to go over that limit before this update if you were using Genesis crystals to purchase those bonus packs to get more enhancement ore and
My parents always
XP
say,
books.
no matter how
specifically
busy life
because you were
should always sit
using
down and
an
enjoy a
in-game
proper meal
currency
when
that
you
you
get
already
home.
paid real
What I
world
like
money
to do
for.
is stack
They
my
couldn't
food up
just
high,
outright
then squash it all
deny
down,
you certain items that you actually use that
and wolf it
currency
down
for,
in one go.
and it just falls into the
That
void.
way, I get to eat my
No, it
fill
actually
without
has to
wasting too
go
much
in
time.
there, otherwise they're going to have a whole bunch of problems going forward. But as a result of that, that same mechanic used to honor the transaction can also be used in other places, like for collecting items. So yes, they gave that a lot of thought, but if you ever did do this back then, before this update I'm talking about, you would have over 9,999 enhancement ores or XP books, but you wouldn't be able to pick up any more on your own. Genshin Impact is a collection of fascinating systems.
Good girl, Vanana. Thanks for guarding the house. Now, let me take a good look at you. Did you have another growth spurt? Hey, I was just taking a look, not inviting you to wrestle. Next time, okay? Oh, this is Vanana. She keeps watch over the orchard when no one's here. She's a tough little thing, but also a clingy baby at heart.
Did you say little? She certainly doesn't look it.
Anyway, this is my family's orchard. Come on, I'll show you around.
Whoa! It's even bigger than Paimon imagined! Look at all the fruit! It looks delicious.
This is the Collective of Plenty, after all. Being so close to the volcano makes the soil extra fertile. So everything that grows around here is amazing. Especially the fruit. We sell a lot to the other tribes, give some to family and friends, and keep the rest for ourselves.
Well, if you have to live next to a volcano, at least you get something good out of it.
That's right. Since we're here, why don't we pick some and have ourselves a little snack?
Wait, but didn't you just eat?
Yeah, but there's always room for dessert. Plus, we don't have to pick that many. A few dozen should do it. You know that fruit stand in front of my house? Well, as a kid, whenever my dad was working at the stand, I would tug on his shirt and ask for a piece of fruit. I would scarf it down in a heartbeat and then ask for another. Before long, people would gather around just to watch. My dad told me I made the fruit look so delicious, more and more people started coming to our stand, which, of course, made me want to eat even more. The customers would ruffle my hair and say, "It's good to have a healthy appetite. You'll grow up big and strong for sure." I mean, what kid doesn't like a compliment? So I would smile, which would get my dad to smile. And then my mom, too.
Aw, that's so cute! Plus, free fruit whenever you want. Jealous!
With all that said, it also helped that our fruit actually tastes really good. And I'm not just saying that. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Oh, and there's an epic feast showdown in a few days, so we're providing a bunch of the fruit for the desserts.
Epic Feast Showdown?
Oh, sorry. It's basically a speed eating contest. We need to prepare a ton of ingredients. So don't worry about anything going to waste. Okay, let's get picking.
Alright. Where should we start? Why is there a mushroom over there?
Oh, that kind of mushroom. They kind of appeared out of nowhere when we first planted the orchard. They grow really fast and don't require any water or fertilizer. Oh, and the flavor is amazing.
Foreshadowing.
You can grill them, stir-fry them, or even eat them raw. The flavor has almost a fruity taste to it.
A mushroom that tastes like a fruit? That's a new one.
Yep, that could be. Anyway, as far as I'm concerned, if it tastes like a fruit, then it fits right in. Who cares where it came from? Go ahead. Pick as much as you want. Might as well get some mushrooms too, and I'll whip up something to eat.
Hey! Everyone hold hands.
I can't cheat. Alright. The game isn't gonna let me cheat with Nahida. Oh yeah! I've been looking for a good place to farm the luminescent spines. Before this quest, I actually came across this orchard trying to collect the luminescent spine, but then Vanana stopped me. And at that point, I just decided to try to go around her, but she caught me again. So, I did what any rational person would do. I busted out Nahida and started using all things to know to steal all the fruit from a distance. Yeah, that was fun.
Whoa, that's quite the haul.
Well, you need a bunch of ingredients for the eating competition, right? Thought we'd give you some help. Oh, and you were right about the fruit. Paimon tried one, and it was one of the sweetest, juiciest pieces of fruit Paimon has ever had. You must sell out every time. Also, Paimon tried one of the mushrooms too. In a weird way, it really did taste like a fruit. We should call them berry shrooms. Well, Paimon had multiple nations' worth of good food to refine her palate. Her taste buds never lie.
Well, thanks to your help, we can call it early today. Oh, I promised you a meal, didn't I? I'll be right back. I'm not the greatest cook, so it's nothing special. Still, high-quality ingredients are hard to mess up.
Don't sell yourself short. It looks great. Paimon can smell the umami from here. Whoa! This is completely different from the raw taste.
I'm glad. This kind of mushroom is a favorite in the tribe, but it's not well known outside the Collective of Plenty. Actually, we're hoping to use the upcoming competition to introduce it to a wider audience. Uncle Atoli has been coming up with new recipes like there's no tomorrow. Hey, you two should sign up. Only if you want to, of course.
Oh, you mean the Epic Feast Showdown? Yeah, Paimon would love to sign up. She might not do very well, though.
Don't worry. You can tap out at any time. Nothing goes to waste. I'll take care of anything you can't finish.
Oh, good. Wait, aren't you competing too? Oh, then Paimon doesn't stand a chance.
You never know until you try. Oh, besides, from what I just saw, it looks like you can hold your own. Well, anyway, winning isn't the point. Just think of it as an opportunity to try our local delicacies.
Oh, good point. Nice! Then let's sign up together! Time for Paimon to show these people what she's made of!
Another relatively quick Chronicle quest. Interesting. Cheesy mushroom skewers. It's all apples over here. Alright, let's start looting.
I see everything. Everyone hold hands.
Oh, now you let me in, huh? Alright, fine. Wait. Oh, seriously? There is a Pyroculus at the top of the cliff. Because of course there is. Alright, time for part 3. First, now I can finally get the reputation level. Harvest Boon. Now let's see what the bounties are like first. Good thing about collecting all these items is that you never have to worry about collecting them for a quest. You can just finish it and be done with it. Alright. Time to hunt. Still 18 short, but that's fine. Perilous.
Hear the echoes of the valley. Strike a pose. Maximum power. Hero incoming. Hi. Yeah. Headbutt. Yeah. It's justice o'clock. Yeah.
Done. I feel like ever since they did something to the wheel menu, I've been getting a lot of inaccurate inputs lately.
This body belongs to ice and snow.
Another one bites the dust. Alright, where's the last one? What the? Throne of Primal Fire. Later. Here we go. You gotta love just being able to run off a cliff and be able to just keep running.
Watch this.
Let's do
Let me
this.
do it then.
Yoo-hoo! Letting brave names echo! Oof! Heads up!
Forget.
Yeah! 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 Turn! Yeah! Yeah!
Gotta love this electro juggling too. Alright. Do I also collect local specialties? Those I try to. I do try to collect everything in spades, but local specialties, I admit, are something that I would actually need to start harvesting from other worlds if I want to ever reach the limit. Alright. Got that recipe? Wait. Oh, Blazing Flint ore. Okay, okay. I'm glad that clicked sooner rather than later in my head.
Hurry up, Brassa! Gotta steer clear of other people.
Now, another thing I noticed that I'm really enjoying about Veressa running around is that her elemental skill slash Night Soul Blessing is very forgiving when it comes to hitting certain things. Rather than just stopping, you kind of do this roll over it. Even if you hit it multiple times, somehow, in the worst possible angle, you can just keep rolling until you finally clear it and just keep running once you hit the ground again. It's very satisfying.
Oh, hey, you're here.
It's been a while. When Veressa told me you signed up for the Epic Feast Showdown, I could barely believe it. Sounds like Veressa might finally be in for a challenge this year.
Honestly, I'm not even that good.
What's wrong? Sounds like you're still half asleep.
Just, hungry. It's competition day, so gotta show up with an empty stomach.
Not much longer, Veressa. Atoli's firing up the ovens as we speak.
Got it. I can wait.
About the competition. Usually you have to pay for the food if you don't finish. But when I heard you two were coming, I talked to Atoli and we agreed to waive your expenses.
Really? So we get to eat for free? Awesome! Now we can just take it easy and box up whatever we don't finish!
Please, it's our pleasure. You've done so much for Natlan. Just think of it as a small token of gratitude. When the Abyss invaded, we weren't hit with large waves of monsters, but the volcano became unusually active. As the Guardians of Tolan, we couldn't stand by and do nothing, so we immediately dispatched a team to the summit. Veressa was a key member of that team. Veressa?
Huh? Oh, right. Yes, I was there. I brought so many Saurus crackers with me that day. Sorry, not the point. There were abyss tumors all around the summit, agitating the magma and spawning all kinds of monsters. But once the Pyro Archon did her thing, we were able to smash them to smithereens.
Looking back on it, the goal was probably to hold us up so we couldn't send reinforcements to the areas around the stadium.
Good point. Your tribe must be full of great warriors with all the training you do. The Abyss really is a cunning enemy. Oh, and you mentioned something about the Guardians of Tolan? What does that mean?
That is a duty our people have held for generations. The volcano is very important to us. It brings disaster, but also opportunity. Our people rose to the challenge of living in this environment, and in return, we get fertile soil and a thriving ecosystem.
That's right. The Natlanese are never ones to shy away from a challenge. Although, whenever we spot unusual volcanic activity, we always report it to the stadium.
Oh, so there's a lot more to this place than good food, huh? Hold on. Where did Veressa go? Wasn't she just here?
Oh, you know, I just saw her leave. I thought someone must have called for her.
My guess is that she followed the scent of the food straight to the kitchen.
Let's go check on her. Paimon understands the torture of an empty stomach better than anyone.
I'll lead the way.
I was right, foreshadowing. Healed fungal traces.
Oh, that smell. So delicious. Juicy mushrooms, melted cheese, mouth-watering steak.
Ah, look who it is. I thought I felt an intense energy around here. I know better than to get between you and your next meal. The food just needs a few more minutes. Here, this should tide you over in the meantime.
Wait, is this priest meat stew? Thank you, Uncle Atoli!
Veressa! You really did head straight for the kitchen. What's up? You seemed lost in your own world just now.
Oh, it's you. Sorry, I completely spaced out just now. The next thing I knew, I was all the way over here with a bowl of stew in my hands.
Don't worry about it. I think we can all guess what happened.
Prep took longer than usual, so I had to push back the competition. Sorry for making you wait, Veressa, especially on an empty stomach.
No worries, Uncle Atoli. Your delicious soup fixed me right up.
Oh, that sounds more like the Veressa we know.
I become completely useless when I'm hungry. I really wanted to focus on the conversation back there, but no luck.
That's perfectly normal. It takes a lot of energy to train the way you do, so you need more food to make up for it. You two know what I mean, right? Try to do too much on an empty stomach, and you end up feeling weak and lightheaded.
Oh boy, Paimon's been there before.
So, when is the competition supposed to start? Not sure I can wait much longer.
One sec. I'll go check.
We're all set. Time to gather the contestants, Zakatl. The showdown is about to begin.
Got it! Let's head to the venue. The food will be brought out shortly.
Finally! Oh, I'm so ready to dig in.
It smells so good! Veressa had the right idea. It's definitely worth the wait.
I'm sorry, are those giant shrimp? I'd love to collect those. All I have is shrimp meat, not actual shrimp.
Yeah, we could maybe finish one portion between the two of us. And even that's a stretch. But one portion each? There's no chance.
Time to dig in. Thanks for the food, Uncle Atoli.
Whoa, hold on. Varessa's plate looks completely different than ours.
Oh, wow, that's a lot.
I forgot to mention, the competition actually has 2 levels. The regular challenge and the Varessa challenge. The Varessa challenge is only for people who have completed the regular challenge in the past. It's named after Varessa because, well, so far, she's the only one who's been able to finish it.
You're kidding. You had to invent a whole new challenge just for her?
Believe me, if Varessa competed in the same class as everyone else, the winner would be decided before the competition even started. What's the fun in that? Only one other person has come close to beating the Varessa challenge, and that would be the Pyro Archon herself. Of course, she breezed through the normal level, but the Varessa challenge was still too much, even for her. Back then, it was all part of an investigation. You see, the Pyro Archon covers all expenses at the Weary Inn the night before the pilgrimage. And each time, Varessa's tab would show several dozen people's worth of food for a single person. The Speaker's Chamber thought something had to be wrong. Maybe there was a mistake in the accounts, or someone was trying to defraud the Archon. But once the Archon finally saw Varessa's appetite in action, that was that.
Whoa. Okay, so... You're saying Malika had these portions, and she just breezed through?
And she did that all because there were allegations of fraud. But as soon as she saw it, it all made sense. She could tell that those accounts were legit.
You're right. Let's go. Paimon's gonna defend her honor with everything she's got. Whoa. Tender, juicy, grilled to perfection. It's delicious. Oh, you gotta try this one too, Traveler. It's amazing. Oh, and this. And this one is... Alright, that's it. Paimon taps out. All this time, and it doesn't look like we've made any progress. Oh, Paimon's ready to throw in the towel.
What happens to defending your honor?
Okay, Paimon's tried as hard as she could, but this enemy is too strong. You know what? There really should be a Paimon challenge. Paimon's smaller than the rest of you. It's no fair for her portion to be the same.
Let's hear it for Varessa, who has once again completed the challenge. And with a 10% increase in portion size, it's a new personal best.
Ha! Well done, Varessa.
Amazing job!
Oh, it's nothing. Uncle Atoli's food is just too good. I couldn't stop myself.
You actually finished it? Jeez, are you okay?
Huh? Why wouldn't I be?
You don't feel bloated? Or like you're gonna throw up? Oh, Paimon's so full it feels like she's gonna sink.
Oh, nope. I feel good, actually. Satisfied, you know? Thanks. This is my specialty, after all. Not that it's good for anything outside these competitions. If I'm honest, I'd rather be like you or Kochian-san. A hero brave enough to stand against the abyss.
Aw, don't worry, Veressa. For someone as talented as you, it's only a matter of time before you shine in the arena.
Ian-san, did you beat the challenge too?
Of course. The regular challenge is easy for me. I've attempted the Veressa challenge a few times too, but never even came close.
Okay, there has to be more to this than just appetite. Is there some kind of trick? By the end, it was like the meat turned into one big greasy blob, and it was so hard to keep going.
Oh, that's when you balance it out with some mushrooms. The ones from my orchard. Well, that's what I did anyway. As soon as the food came out, I set a few mushrooms to the side so they wouldn't soak up too much oil. Or get too mushy. That way, you have something fresh and fruity to balance it out.
Oh, so that's the secret. Use the mushrooms to cut through the heaviness.
That's a pro move.
You tried them yourselves, remember? If it tastes like a fruit, might as well use it like one. I think more people from outside the tribe would beat the challenge if they knew about that mushroom.
Ian-san, some of the contestants are looking for you. Something about being ready to train?
They want to exercise. After all that food? Sorry, everyone. I should intervene.
Yeah, go tell them to take it easy.
Well, how did everyone do, Uncle Atoli?
Almost half finished the regular challenge. I believe that's a record. Either the contestants are getting more experienced, or my cooking was extra good this time.
Everything was delicious, especially when it first came out all hot and steaming.
Thank you. When cooked at high heat, that mushroom has a special fragrance that really brings out the flavor of the other ingredients. Oh, and since you're new here, I should mention something else about that mushroom. It's an excellent addition to any dish, but there are actually two varieties. Red, which is the most common, and green. There's not much to note about the red ones. Sell them, eat them, do whatever you want. But if you see a green one, it must be picked and eaten right away.
Huh? Why's that?
That's just what a scholar from Sumeru said when the orchard first opened. No one knows the reason. We just do as we're told. Whenever a green mushroom pops up in the orchard, I pick it and eat it. The flavor is identical to the red ones.
Okay, because that's not weirdly specific at all.
Well, of course. Who wouldn't be intrigued by something like that? But curiosity isn't always a good thing, right? Oh, by the way, Veressa, I'm almost out of red mushrooms. Could you run to the orchard and grab some more for me?
Of course, Uncle Atoli. I'm on it. Want to come with you too?
What do you think, Traveler? Paimon wouldn't mind working off some of that food. Paimon will take that as a yes. All right, let's go. Thanks for the food, Atoli.
Haha, my pleasure. But try to finish it all next time.
Two years after entering Sumeru, and we still can't leave the mushroom life behind.
Time to roll.
Oh, so there are multiple machines that can make fruits aplenty.
After that meal, I'm ready to tackle anything. Oh, something on your mind? Is it what Uncle Atoli said about the green mushrooms? Don't worry. He can be a bit dramatic sometimes. The green mushrooms don't appear that often. Besides, I check the orchard every day, and if I see one, I eat it. If anything, I wish there were more around here. Means more free mushrooms for me.
Wait, is that one right there? Huh. Talk about a coincidence.
See? There's nothing special about it except the color. Give me 1 sec. I'll start a fire and grill it right up.
Paimon's gonna pass on this one. She's way too stuffed from earlier.
You mean why we have to pick and eat the green mushrooms right away? To be honest, I'm curious too. The scholar looked really serious when he said it, but he never explained the reason behind it. Uncle Atoli has a point, though. Curiosity can be a bad thing. If we stop doing what the scholar said, something terrible could happen.
You could look into it at least. That's what an adventurer would do.
Yeah, but my tribe is more important. I love everything about this place. Maintaining the status quo is good enough for me. I know the truth is important too, but I don't have the right to make a decision that could put the people around me in danger. In other words, deep down, I guess I'm just scared. Scared that change could mean losing control. Command the truth?
Yeah, we don't have to stop following the scholar's orders. We can start by gathering information.
You have a point. You know, you remind me of another hero from our tribe. Her name was Fiatena. Just like you, she was full of courage and never stopped challenging and exploring the unknown. She's my idol. Actually, could you give me a moment? All I need is 3 seconds. Lady Fiatena, lend me your courage. 3, 2, 1. You're right. I can't keep running from the truth. I want to command it, just like you said. So, where should we start with the investigation? You probably have a bunch of experience. Oh, the green mushroom, you mean? The taste is the same as the red ones. There's nothing special there.
Well, the Traveler is a lot more perceptive than most people. He should at least give it a try.
Oh, I see. Well then, I'll grill some up right away.
So, notice anything, Traveler? Just like Varesha said. Guess it was the same for all of us.
Finally, a worthy devotee after all this time. Fascinating.
Who said that?
Lovely, we're hallucinating.
No need for alarm. There is only one among you who piqued my interest, and that is the one with golden hair. Seeing as you all appear to be acquainted, I allowed the rest of you to hear my voice as well. Now, I shall grant you all the honor of becoming my first subjects in this era. Now, You were the ones who wanted to learn more about my origins. I merely granted your wish.
Origins? Wait, you're the green mushroom?
So you do know how to use your brain, young one. But you'll excuse me if I have no interest in you, craven and dull-witted as you usually seem.
Hey, watch it, buddy!
Let me remind you, it was your own curiosity that started all of this. I see no reason for me to stand down. I only granted you this audience because I saw potential in you. I am the Sage Lord of Fungi. Serving me is a great honor, as well as a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Sage Lord? Good one. Did you come up with that yourself?
You mock my name? All you do is make a mockery of your own taste. Of course, the Sage Lord of Fungi is too dignified for petty arguments with lesser organisms.
Sure doesn't sound like it.
That's enough out of you. What's wrong with you humans? You should be full of reverence at this point. In that case, I don't know what went wrong, but you lack the trust and worship to be my subjects, so we shall have to table that for the time being. However, I am willing to share my sagely knowledge with you. I have all the answers you seek. As with all seekers of said knowledge, all you have to do is prove your sincerity, and we shall see if you're worthy.
Look! More green mushrooms right in front of us!
These clones are my most loyal subjects, as well as the keepers of my secrets. If you want answers, then gather your wits and search for clues. I shall await your summons. It might be advisable to brush up on your devotion in the meantime.
The voice is gone. Finally, Paimon had enough of that racket. Talking in our heads without permission, spewing a bunch of nonsense. Even a How is better than him.
So, do you think what he said was true? About being the Sage Lord of Fungi and all that?
Maybe, but most of it sounded like hot air to Paimon.
True. That conversation in our heads definitely was real.
And it proves these mushrooms aren't regular mushrooms at all. Something fishy is going on.
That conversation in our heads was definitely real. That is a weird sentence.
I guess this is the beginning of our hero's journey then. So let's make like heroes and get to the bottom of this. So we can command the truth and this mushroom. Okay. That sounded a lot cooler in my head.
Well, we have one thing going for us. We've faced mushrooms before, and they're pretty pathetic as far as enemies go.
Such insolence!
Did you hear that? Sounds like someone's mad.
You're spying on us?
No response. Guess he's not gonna admit it.
Well, he said his subjects hold the clues to his secrets. Who knows if he was telling the truth? But we can't just ignore the green mushrooms, so let's start investigating. Okay, so this one is red. Ah! Fungus! It turned into a fungus! In Natlan of all places!
So this is one of his subjects? Well, it's kind of cute.
Bull warrior compliment! Much appreciate! warrior natural enemy. Eat. Must resist.
Careful, Veressa! This is a kind of monster from Sumeru. Even though it looks cute, it can still attack you!
A monster? Aw, that's too bad. I was hoping we could be friends.
Mercy! Mercy! Food is sacred! Everything else, waste! That's all I know. Promise!
It turned back into a normal mushroom. What's going on?
You mean that food is sacred?
Well, that's a whole bunch of nothing. Let's go look somewhere else.
Well, now we're getting sage wisdom from mushrooms. I won't say we've hit rock bottom.
Mushroom, and it turned into a fungus. Nice try, but you're not scaring Paimon with that one twice. Okay, let's go on the initiative. Hey, you! What's the whole food is sacred thing about?
As our Sage Lord stated, you must demonstrate your wits to receive the answers you seek. That means I should be the one asking the questions, not you.
Okay, so it turns out this one can talk. Fine. What do we have to do? Solve a riddle or something?
Riddle? Oh, I'm not good at that. Could you, give us an easy one?
That sounds like a problem for your friends. Besides, did I say this was up for negotiation? Enough chatter. Time for my question. Why are all the mushrooms in this orchard willing to become the subjects of the Sage Lord?
Aw, man! How are we supposed to know?
Because you're his clones, right? I remember him saying something like that.
Alas, no wits in sight. The answer could never be that simple.
Because he's a fun guy?
What? How did you get that so fast?
Oh, it's that kind of riddle.
Sumeru mushrooms! Of course! Paimon can't believe she didn't think of this possibility.
Wait, does that mean everyone in Sumeru is into puns? Huh. Is it because the people are so clever?
No, we just, have a lot of experience with these kinds of jokes.
Well, since you have proven your wits, I will now answer your question. The act of eating is not only a physical necessity, but also a sacred ritual. Mushrooms like us are the Sage Lord's intermediaries. Incinerating our flesh forges a spiritual connection between you and the Sage Lord himself.
Oh, so that's why he could speak to us in our heads.
So you're saying if we want to talk to him again, all we have to do is eat more mushrooms?
That sounds like a horrible idea.
No, wait, don't turn back into a regular mushroom! Oh, too late. And all we have is another cryptic message.
Well, if eating is a sacred ritual, maybe we need to perform some kind of ceremony with special tools or something.
Oh, good thinking, Veressa! Let's try and ask the other mushrooms! Oh, but we should probably pick this one first since it's a green mushroom.
Green berry shroom in my inventory. Now, before we continue any further, we're going to take a quick 5-minute break. So, use this time to get up, stretch, get something to eat, drink, do what you gotta do, and I will see you in 5 minutes. Alright, welcome back, and it's time to talk to more mushrooms, I guess. Not the weirdest moment in this game.
Hey, there are two fungi over there! Looks like they're discussing something.
Have you figured out how you're going to test the humans?
Of course! Any random question should do the trick. They don't look very smart to me.
Wow, cool! You greencaps are so wise. Just like our Siege Lord. Huh, I'm so jealous.
It's all progressing as expected. I know exactly what they're going to ask. Oh, please, please tell us how to conduct the ceremony. And I shall respond. Nothing in life comes for free. You have two choices. Answer a question about the stars and moon above, or the dark abyss below.
Ew! And they'll say, no, I'm stumped. I can't think anymore, or my cap will explode into spores!
They're humans, idiot. They don't have caps or spores.
All right. Duh.
And then I'll say, you can't even answer the most basic of basic questions? Come back after you've studied for a few more decades.
Ha! Yeah! A few more decades.
Of course, they're so dense, it might actually take them that long to realize that. If eating is a ritual, then obviously the ceremony is the cooking.
I mean, obviously it's the cooking!
Did they just give us the answer?
Who goes there?
And you think we're the dense ones? Look in the mirror, buddy.
A floating pale organism out of nowhere! My cap almost burst into spores!
No, wait, don't disappear! At least explain yourselves first!
Well, we already got what we needed.
So, we passed the test? Where's the sense of accomplishment? So much for gathering our wits. We didn't have to use our brains at all. Oh well. The important thing is, the Sage Lord of Fungi wants us to use cooking to establish a stronger mental connection with him.
That sounds right. Uncle Atoli did say, when you cook this mushroom, the higher the heat, the better the fragrance.
Right! That was the case when you grilled them in the orchard, too. Heat really does release their flavor. Okay, let's give it a try.
Definitely. But we should probably explain the situation to Uncle Akatl and the rest of the tribe first.
Good call. It's best for everyone to be prepared.
So you're saying we should go to the heart of town and tell the village chief that we've been talking to mushrooms? Is that what you're saying? You know, I've realized that there isn't exactly a prison in Natlan. I don't want to find out if there is a prison in Natlan. Or somewhere to put the crazies. Please. Where did I get the Syrian cracker items? You know, that is one question I do not have the answer to. I was wondering when they appeared in my inventory.
Huh.
Yeah, this
so
ain't looking
it
good.
felt pretty normal in the moment, but hearing it back does sound kind of, ridiculous.
Yeah, we might be screwed.
So, the mushrooms in the orchard are sentient. What a remarkable discovery!
Yeah, without your investigation, who knows what could have happened?
Thanks for looking into it, and for collecting all this information.
What a relief. I was worried it sounded like I lost my marbles.
It does sound far-fetched. After all, none of us have ever spoken to a mushroom. But we know you're not one to lie, Varessa. Besides, the origin of the green mushrooms has always been a mystery to us. Thanks to you, we now know something sinister could be going on. So, we should do our part to help.
Yeah, just let me know if there's anything I can do.
Wow, that didn't take much convincing.
Oh, wait! You said the mushrooms needed to be cooked at high heat, right? I can do that for you right now. I'll be quick. All right, I'm back. I used cast iron, so it should be hot enough.
Whoa, it smells delicious! Suddenly Paimon's hungry again.
Well, here goes nothing.
Wait, that's his voice!
Looks like you stumbled upon the right path. But this temperature does not demonstrate even a fraction of the sincerity I require.
What, you want me to dunk you in a volcano?
Did you really think some common stove could generate enough heat to earn the acknowledgement of the Sage Lord? Humans are such a disappointment. You can solve my riddles when the answers are handed to you on a silver platter. But as soon as there are no more hints, not a shred of intelligence in sight. Do try and use your brain this time.
How did it go? Did you hear the voice?
Annoying menace of a mushroom! The Sage Lord of Fungi said the heat's still not high enough. Sage Lord of nitpicking, more like!
Not high enough, huh? I guess that means we need a more powerful source of heat. Attention, everyone! We need items that can generate intense heat. Anything you can find.
I'll see what I can do.
Leave it to me.
We should take a look too.
Definitely! We're not super familiar with this area, though. Do you have any ideas?
Nothing concrete, but we could check around the volcano. It spews out all kinds of stuff. Maybe there's something we can use.
Awesome! Let's go! Paimon's gonna find something scorching hot and then throw it in that stupid mushroom's face!
So, we're talking to mushrooms. People are believing that we talk to mushrooms. And now we're swearing vengeance against mushrooms.
Running late again. Hey, there should be some avatars of lava somewhere along this path. Their cores are really hot. It might be just what we need.
You know, when you think about how everyone jumped to help us like that, it seems like your tribe has been suspicious of the green mushrooms for a while.
Yeah, but without you, we would have never gotten this far. I mean, tons of people have tried that mushroom without a weird voice talking in their head.
Right. So, even if you wanted to investigate, you had nowhere to start.
Yeah, this opportunity was a long time coming. Plus, the Sage Lord's arrogant attitude definitely triggered my tribe's competitive spirit.
Verissa seem competitive most of the time, though. Outside of training and fighting monsters, at least.
Yeah, well, I don't really like fighting or competing, to be honest. Simple day-to-day happiness is what matters to me. Still, I've learned a lot from Kojian-san. She taught me that strength is a means rather than an end. We get stronger so we can use our strength when it counts. Like during the Abyss invasion. Having the training to master my vision meant that I could do something to stop it. So, no matter how scared I feel, I know I have to be brave. Because people are counting on me. Thanks. It's a work in progress. I can only hope that one day I can be as brave as Lady Fiatenna. Alright, we should keep looking. Let's roll! Oh, looks like we can make this jump.
Uh-oh! A falling rock!
That avatar of lava pushed it down. Come on, let's charge!
Charge?
Done and dusted. This core should be perfect. Look, the phlogiston inside it is still active.
Oh, let's see! Woo! Hot!
A few more chunks like this and we should be good. Come on, let's keep heading up. Careful! 3 avatars of lava ahead! Headbutt! Hut! Yeah! It's justice o'clock! Yeah!
Shower me with praise! Oh no, not good! The volcano is acting up again! What is that? It looks like a giant weasel thief. Is there a great toe-in weasel thief or something?
We call it a Furnace Shell Mountain Weasel. It's very aggressive, so be careful.
Look at that.
What a great haul! A bunch of seeing eyes, and this thing the weasel used to spew out fire!
I think that's its back armor. It shoots out phlogiston, so it can pretty much attack from all directions. My dad told me about them once. Creatures that live in the volcano. I can't believe we actually ran into one. This piece of armor might produce even higher temperatures than the seeing eyes. We'll get those mushrooms super hot this time. Oh, well, even though I don't like fighting, sometimes you don't have a choice. So, I've tried to figure out a bunch of different ways to get myself in the zone. For example, I've read a lot of stories about heroes, and my favorite hero has always been Fiatenna, the one I mentioned before. Fiatenna's most iconic feature was her mask. So I decided to make one just like hers. So now, whenever I wear the mask, it's like there's a little piece of her with me. If I want to honor her legacy, I have no choice but to be brave. At the same time, though, I guess it's kind of like a crutch. Kind of like I'm hiding behind her strength.
Oh, you really think so?
Really? It's just... I feel like I need to take it off one day and face things alone. But the longer I put off taking that step, the more impossible it feels. I don't know if I have it in me.
Yeah! You had the courage to make that decision. And that's what adventuring is all about! Fighting is just a small part of it.
Oh.
Besides, Paimon thinks you're doing a great job. Just take your time. It's not a race.
Thanks for believing in me, you two. I've learned so much. And I won't give up. Not until I can face things on my own. After that pep talk, I feel like my appetite is back in full force.
You're hungry already? Paimon hasn't even finished digesting her last meal.
Come on, let's head back to the tribe. We'll earn that mushroom's recognition this time for sure. Why me? Let's go. Gotta steer clear of other people.
We're back! And we found a bunch of stuff to use!
Great. We're almost done with the preparations on our side, too.
I've managed to get these iron chunks red hot. We should be good to go.
Yeah, and since we need really high temperatures, I brought the best stove I could find.
And I got a bunch of buckets of lava on standby if we need more fuel.
It's like we're gearing up for a fight, not cooking a few mushrooms.
Yeah, but the things we brought aren't your typical cooking utensils either.
Well, that mushroom started it, right, everyone? Disrespecting Varessa and our guest of honor.
Yeah, we'll see what sort of excuses it can come up with this time. Thanks for the help, everyone. It really means a lot.
Yeah, you need a maniacal laugh if you're gonna bring buckets of lava to a party.
All right, let's see what we have here. Huh? The armor of a furnace shell mountain weasel? Don't tell me you went into the volcano.
No, it erupted out of nowhere, and then the weasel appeared, and then, well, anyway, we got this in the end.
Either way, this is something special. Back when I was training to be a chef, I studied the effect of temperature on different ingredients. This kind of armor produces intense localized heat. It's great for fish because you can get a nice sear on one side without overcooking the other. Anyway, let's get started. The mushrooms are all ready to go.
All right, let's go.
Whoa, the fragrance is so much more intense. And what's with this weird mist? Wait, no, something's not right.
And we're done. Yep. We are hallucinating now. Oh boy.
Where are we? Where did everyone go?
I have no idea. We just showed up here. I can't see the others anymore.
Huh? Is something wrong?
That's a cuddle. Chief, we don't know where we are.
What? I know it's hard to see through this mist, but aren't you here at the tribe with the rest of us?
Yeah, we're hallucinating. Heavy.
No. What are you feeling?
Because you are the only worthy devotees, of course.
Evil jerk of a mushroom, so this is what you look like.
He does look a bit more evil than the other mushrooms we met.
I am no longer concerned with your insolence. On the contrary, I am satisfied with your performance. So, as promised, you shall have the answers you seek. Of course, I have a goal of my own. let me reiterate once more. The great sage lord of fungi, that would be me, is extending you the honor of becoming my subjects.
Ha! The only way anyone's serving you is on a platter!
Now, don't be hasty. It's inadvisable to speak in absolutes. You refuse only because you have yet to witness my miracles. Cherish this opportunity. It may not come again. As you know, Tivat is not a peaceful place. The gods wage war against one another. Monsters roam the land. Humans live in squalor. But then, humanity discovered me and learned that I could grant them unlimited power to fell even the most fearsome of enemies.
Huh. If we want to become strong, we just have to eat this!
Woohoo! Those monsters are no match for me!
And so, the humans worshipped me as their savior. And in return, I revealed my identity as the Sage Lord of Fungi.
What kind of trippy propaganda is this?
You really expect us to believe that? Besides, as far as enemies go, a few puny fungi aren't that fearsome.
Such arrogance! Take that back and apologize before I lose my temper.
You wish!
I mean, those monsters really don't look that scary. Not the kind you'd need a miracle to defeat, anyway.
You insignificant mortals boast of strength? Very well. Then prove it!
I see everything!
That was fast.
Well fought! You see? You ate a fair amount of my clones, and now look what you can do. Huh. My eye for subjects is as discerning as ever.
Huh. Weren't we insignificant mortals just a second ago? Weird.
I'll admit, you're not entirely useless, but my miracles are even greater than you can imagine.
No, don't just... another cryptic one-liner and another disappearing act? It's gotta be a mushroom thing at this point. Well, what should we do? Follow him?
Yeah, let's go. I think he's trying to tell us a story, although I'm not sure if I like the plot.
I'm really tired of this. He refuses to elaborate further and leave thing.
Get back on track!
I soon became humanity's faith, and, with my power, created countless clones, with which I could bestow upon them an endless source of sustenance. Food is a scarce resource. A faith that provides for the needs of the flesh is the most practical and noble of all. And as my subjects gave themselves in service, either as civilians or warriors, I rewarded them with mushrooms in proportion to their contribution. The most exceptional among them could receive as many as 20 mushrooms a day.
That's it?
What are you insinuating? Are mushrooms not enough?
Well, it's possible people couldn't afford to be picky back then.
Yeah, but now even saurians have more options than that.
Sustenance and strength. Such are the pillars of faith. So what do you think? A pretty enticing offer, wouldn't you agree? Once you become my subjects, all you have to do is build a civilization dedicated to the mushrooms. And then, what do you mean, what happened next?
Right. If the humans dedicated themselves in service to you, then shouldn't you have your own tribe at this point? Or even your own nation? But I've read a lot of woven scrolls about the heroes of Natlan, and I've never come across anything about some kind of mushroom savior.
Of course not. I was in a different nation at the time. I don't suppose you know their history, too.
Yeah, and we didn't hear anything about a mushroom civilization.
I never said it was Sumeru. I have no idea where that assumption is coming from. A trivial detail. You know what? You don't deserve to know what happened next.
Yeah, if you want us to respect you, stop being so secretive.
True. If we don't know how the story ends, it doesn't hold much weight now, does it?
All right, fine. Same rules as before. If you want the truth, you'll have to use your wits to earn it. If you fail to prove your worth, good luck getting another detail out of me.
He ran off. Come on, after him.
Oh. Uh-huh. Right.
He jumped down from here! So it looks like we just need to... Is something wrong, Traveler? Off? How?
That's how I feel too. Based on his personality, if he won't tell us how things turned out in the end, it must be because it's not something he can brag about. Besides, how did he even get from Sumeru to Natlan? Seems like he's avoiding that subject too. And through it all, he still hasn't given up on recruiting us. Even though he's in for a rude awakening.
Yeah, he seemed pretty annoyed with our questions. Why not just kick us to the curb?
But why?
All right, sounds like a plan. Let's go!
Ooh.
I hit the bottom before the warp could take place. Oh, lovely. Now we're side-scrolling.
Catch me if you can! If you can figure out which way to go, of course.
Oof, absolutely insufferable. Come on, let's find him.
Leave this to me. I'll clear a path for you. I think we can get these mushrooms to form a path. We just need to wait for the right timing.
Get a load of this!
Watch out, Miranda!
Don't worry about me. I've got this.
Don't stop now.
A dead end?
Jump up. Let it give us a ride.
A dead end?
Jump up. Let it give us a ride. All right, this should be good. Get ready and jump!
Backed into a corner, huh?
We've got you this time!
Ow! Well, that hurt, you know. You humans have such violent tendencies.
not again. Although, I think I pulled something off of him.
A ball of mist! Oh no, it's spreading! Ah! They're gonna eat us! Gonna eat us! Eat us!
Ungrateful humans! Oh, at this rate, I won't have any clones left. The more my clones are consumed, the less power I have. Oh, the situation grows dire. Why must the humans eat so much? My power is all but spent, but it was still enough to control a single human at least. Now all of Sumeru knows how scrumptious my mushrooms are, so if I want to grow, I must relocate. And if I want it to happen fast, I need suitable environmental conditions. You! Take me somewhere hot! The hotter the better!
Yes, my lord.
Is this the place, human?
Yes. This is a volcano in a land far to the west. The temperatures here get very high. It should be a most suitable location for your lordship to regain his strength. I shall now find a good place to plant you, my lord, so that your mycelial majesty may take root in this fertile land.
Yes, proceed. Huh? An earthquake? No! A volcanic eruption!
Ah! So that's how it ended. No wonder you tried to hide it from us. It's pretty embarrassing.
I thought he said people formed communities around this mushroom and used it as their main source of food.
Yeah, but it looks like his following got too big and he couldn't keep up with the demand.
Huh. He used the mushrooms as his main recruitment tactic. But then the situation got out of control.
Which means the more mushrooms the humans ate, the less powerful he became, right?
Wow. So his following didn't last long.
Nope, which explains why there aren't any records about some kind of mushroom civilization. In the end, he mind-controlled a human to bring him to Natlan and then got buried under a pile of volcanic rocks.
Yeah, for who knows how long. When we were talking to him earlier, he seemed kind of, out of touch, you know?
Well, he has been living under a rock, so that checks out. But clearing out this area for your orchard finally allowed him to start regaining his power.
Yeah, that sounds right. My parents always thought it was so weird that mushrooms kept popping up around the orchard no matter what we did. Now it makes sense. Wait, but if everything we saw is true, that means this mushroom has mind control powers or something? That's a recipe for disaster.
Hold on. Do you remember what he showed us? A group of humans worshipping a giant mushroom. It just doesn't make sense. They must have been mind-controlled. But when he started running out of power, he couldn't keep it up.
Oh, yeah. Maybe that's why he doesn't seem to be able to control us either.
Oh? Why?
All right, then let's find this mushroom.
And now the true hunt begins. Oh.
The environment changed again. Nothing can faze Paimon at this point.
Let's keep looking. He can't hide forever.
Again, Mushroom World isn't the weirdest world I've been to.
Kapow! Yeah! Yeah! Volcano Kablam! Yeah!
So you made it this far. Impressive. In that case...
He hid himself in the statue. What should we do? Actually, that checks out. We're just gonna smash it, right? Cool.
Running late again. Gotta steer clear of other people. Wow, wow! Shower me with praise!
We've got you this time, nasty mushroom! We know all your schemes.
We thought you were just a mushroom that happened to taste good. But now we know how dangerous you are, so we have to stop you.
Huh. It would seem you're not completely devoid of intelligence. Fitting for my future subjects. Still, you're overlooking a very important detail. Did you think I was running away because I was scared? Well, this is a world of my creation. My will rules supreme. My schemes have been exposed, you say. No matter. My goal has already been achieved.
What?
Although I prefer to call myself the Sage Lord of Fungi, in the human tongue, I am known by another name. You now behold the god Bifrons, the sole protagonist in this endless carnage! Indeed, foolish, shallow, and ungrateful humans! Have you forgotten your savior during this time of war? I am the god who's protecting countless of your kind during this Archon War. You have no food in which to satiate your hunger, no means with which to counter the hordes of monsters, and the gods loom overhead, capable of reducing you to ashes with a simple snap of their fingers. Just one word, and you could have had my protection. But now, that opportunity is lost forever, and you only have your own stupidity and arrogance to blame. No matter, my plan has already succeeded. What you saw when you cooked the mushrooms was not mist, but spores, set to sprout into green mushrooms very soon. And that's where their true power lies. Because, given a bit of time to grow, green mushrooms will multiply exponentially. You see, considering my current level of power, I had no way to create large number of clones. Unless, of course, I had access to a source of extreme heat. And you delivered one to me on a silver platter. That was my plan all along.
So, you kept running away from us because you needed to buy time?
Precisely. Before long, the green mushrooms will multiply at an unstoppable rate, allowing me to return to the peak of my power. Then, I shall reclaim my dignity and status as a god, achieve victory in the Archon War, and take revenge on Sumeru.
You have no concept of time, do you? Newsflash, the Archon War is old news, buddy.
Nonsense! Is that not the source of your suffering? All I hear in this land is war this and war that. If you fear the Archon War, all the more reason to cower behind the protection of a god.
Pretty sure they're talking about the war against the Abyss.
huh?
The Archon War. I guess I've heard about that once or twice, but only from Outlanders.
Ha! I see what's going on here. You're using lies and trickery to befuddle me. You know, my original plan was to imprison you here until the end of time. But now, I have a better idea. Once nothing is left of this land but an endless field of mushrooms, I'll set you free. You get the honor of witnessing that despair in person. Now, I was going to offer you a glimmer of hope by allowing you to pledge yourselves to me and take on the burden of managing my kingdom. But now, the deal is off. What did you say?
The deal was empty from the start. We weren't chosen because you saw something in us. We were your only option.
The Traveler explained everything. The only reason I could hear you is because I've eaten so many mushrooms over the years.
Yeah, and Paimon ate a whole bunch during the competition. Paimon's small, so it didn't take as many mushrooms for her to be affected.
And I happen to have a special constitution, which made it easy to hear your voice.
Point being, most people would have to eat a monstrous amount of mushrooms to even hear you over the buzz of a mosquito. So you latched onto us as a group of people who can actually hear your voice. In other words...
You are too weak.
You said your mushrooms need time to grow, which means you don't have enough power to keep us here.
I may not have my former strength, but keeping a few humans right where I want them is a small task. Unless you think you can take on a creature as vicious and powerful as the Jade Plume Terrashroom. Because you definitely can't. Right?
Let's get out of here.
Yeah, if he was telling the truth, we need to get back to the tribe as soon as possible.
Oh, no! You must be bluffing! A few measly humans couldn't possibly be that powerful! And what's this about a war against the Abyss? Hey, I want answers!
Paimon's not gonna waste one more word on this guy. Let's go!
What should we do?
Worried? Ha ha ha! Don't be. It's just a few mushrooms. Atoli!
Get ready to feast!
More, please! Guess it's time to dig in!
Stop this at once! Huh?
What a great meal! Thanks, everyone. I feel like a whole new me.
And with that, we took care of all the green mushrooms. Now, care to tell me what happened earlier? It was lights out for all three of you. Someone planted a god in Varessa's orchard, and she's been eating it ever since.
Yeah, we know not every god that's still around is super strong, but this one reached a whole new low.
Also, didn't he have his facts all wrong? He kept going on about some kind of Archon war.
Ah, well, Natlan was never part of the Archon War, so it rarely comes up around these parts. It makes sense that you don't know much about it, Varessa.
Whoa, hold on. Are you serious?
Of course. The infighting between the dragons pretty much took over everything. So, there was no room for the gods to join in.
Oh, wow. So, basically, the dragons were having their own little dispute during the fight for the Archon seats.
Yep, that checks out. Living under a rock all those years, Mushroom God wakes up, thinking it's still the Archon War, and tries to use that to convince people to worship him.
Little did he know, our lives are much better now than in the Age of the Dragons.
So what do we do now? It can't be easy to slay a god.
I guess it's back to business as usual. As long as we keep picking the green mushrooms, that god is just a tasty mushroom at the end of the day. Actually, Traveler? Can I borrow you for a minute? Alright, here's good. So, it's not anything super important. I just wanted to thank you from the bottom of my heart. Your encouragement gave me the courage to investigate the green mushrooms and helped me resolve a threat to my tribe. And maybe this sounds weird considering everything, but it was a really awesome adventure. I had fun. Oh, why's that? You're right. I never thought my appetite would save the day. It's pretty surreal. But it's like you said. All it takes is a little patience and perseverance, and my time will come. If I start to doubt myself in the future, all I need to do is think of this experience and everything I've learned along the way.
Hey, you two! Akata was saying that since a scholar from Sumeru warned the tribe about the mushrooms, someone there must know about the mushroom god. Should we go check it out? Couldn't hurt to get more information.
Oh, good point. But if we're heading to the academia, I need to get permission from Uncle Akatl first.
Right, and it's not a quick trip. We have to cross the whole desert.
Good idea. Let's check it out.
All right. Now, I've given it some thought, and... Oh, wait. I was gonna say I'm going to start with bacon, but now I think I'm just gonna wait it out a bit. Just a bit more. Because sugar's at above 5,000. If I can just max out sweet flowers, then I can just keep burning through my sweet flowers for the rest of the year until I finally max out sugar. I just don't like to be idle in my production.
Oh, Catherine's back! And isn't that Tainari?
Word from the speaker's chamber was that an Omerta scholar happened to be conducting research in the area. So they helped me to get in touch.
so you must know all about him, right?
Yeah, the mushrooms started popping up in our orchard not too long ago. Of course, you're welcome anytime. That's a huge help, actually. I wanted to ask, though, you said what remains of his clones? Does that mean there are clones outside of Natlan? Even now?
Wait, what?
Zamarin?
You know that name?
Zamarin?
Yeah, Paimon calls it Sheesh Room. It's absolutely huge! Way more impressive than the puny Sage Lord.
Zamarin is in a green cap.
We should go see Zamarin one of these days.
Ooh, I'll come. It'll be nice to interact with a friendly mushroom for once.
Friendly. This one's definitely not for eating.
I would never.
Alright. This was fun. We ate mushrooms, we talked to mushrooms, we chased mushrooms. I'm kind of mushroomed out.
You might want to get a guide who's not familiar with not get lost.
But at the very least, we finished this. And with that, we got more Sky Split Gem Blooms. Exactly what I needed to further ascend Varessa. Now, I just need another 33 of them. And as you can see, I have found a easy way to farm the new boss. And this will be the last thing we do in this stream, just as an example. Three, two, one.
I see everything.
All right.
Witness my rise. Lay bare. Bring it.
And that's all there is to it.
There is no escape.
Raiden Shogun's passive electro damage.
Everyone hold hands.
Lock on with Nahida. Reduce elemental resistance with Shilonen. And then just waste it with Arlecchino. And because of the way they added the respawn for the bosses, you could just keep doing this cycle over and over again. Farming Wanderer's Troop and Gladiator's Finale, if you want.
Illusion shattered.
Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Overruled.
It's actually quite amusing. Alright, but this also reminded me that I wanted to farm more materials from this boss.
The temperature's just right. But this isn't the best spot to lie down.
I do not collect boss materials just because they're gated behind resin. It's not feasible to focus solely on one material trying to get it up to 9,999. If they ever just remove the resin cap altogether, which is very, very, very improbable, then I will go all out and farm a boss. I would actually dedicate a stream to farming a boss if it was unlimited. So here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Overrule.
Next. Okay. I got enough for one more fight.
Shine down.
3, 2, 1.
Transfixed.
Why only 2 drops? Because I am currently on world level 8. I never bothered doing the world level 9 ascension quest because I literally farm these bosses so quickly that it really doesn't matter to me whether or not I get that extra material that comes from being at world level 9. Right here.
Bring it.
Alright, there's nothing there. That means I've collected the horror fruit in the city for the week, for the next 3 days. And tomorrow I'll come back to acquire the spice that respawns. To this day, this is the only shop that actually sells both Sango pearls and eel meat, formerly unagi meat. And unagi is a special kind of irritating to collect. Not just in their location, but you also need to be very quiet when collecting. Either very quiet with a character like Sayu in your party to avoid detection, or just very fast, just collecting them, pressing that collection button. Which is what I typically do. Okay. Alright, now I got 2,000 again. So far, this is my crab route every day when I log in. A bit out of order, though. Ah, nuts. And now it's raining, which kind of ruins a few things in the route. Now I gotta ignore these guys and go straight for the crabs. Got it. Because the crabs have a tendency not to spawn when it's raining, but the ones that do spawn have a tendency of just disappearing altogether, like all animals in the rain. Also, it's a lightning storm and lightning can actually kill the crabs too. Gotta love nature. How much does the crab... How much more does the crab hunt take? Well, let's see. I buy 20 crabs from Liyue. I buy 20 crabs from Liyue. 10 of them are affected by the reputation discount. Then I purchase another 20 of them from Inazuma, 10 of which are also get a reputation bonus discount once it's high enough. Sumeru. That has 20 crabs as well. So all in all, I'm purchasing 60 crabs. The rest you just find on your own. Here's another crab. And the rain has stopped, so we can get these last 5 crabs over here.
Oh, wow. Where did my sunglasses go? Bring it!
You can just collect these without worrying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that is crab hunting. Basically going all the way here, then to the 6 shops spanning Liyue, Inazuma, and Sumeru. There are no crabs in Fontaine or Natlan. Or no, no crabs for sale there, but they do sell crab roe, so it's not a complete loss. All right. 10 crabs in Fontaine. Where? I've been going to the shops there for over a year now, and I don't think I've ever purchased crab. Huh? Near the entrance to Poisson. Carrot. How did I ignore this guy for over a year?
What can I get you?
Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Balance is restored. We are now at 6,401 crabs. And I can even purchase Tidalga from here. And Romaritime flowers. Now I can actually purchase 5 of Romaritime flowers, the fire flowers, and also the mist flowers every 3 days. So yeah, that's nice. But yeah, I'm so used to just climbing out of this hole that I don't even think to look right. I'll be visiting this guy a lot more often now. So yes, thank you for that little bit of information. Now, we'll be ending the stream in 20 minutes. And during that time, I am going to do absolutely nothing. I am going to stand here. I am going to pause the game at this exact angle. I'm going to put down the controller, and you are just going to watch what happens over the course of 20 minutes. Not going to change to the intermission screen. I just want you to watch it. You can even get up, walk away, do what you need to do. Just watch. Yes, this is the start of the crab farming strat. Just stand on a rock out of the way, pause the game, and just watch. You will be shocked at what you see. Alright, I will be back in about 10 minutes, so use this time to get up and stretch, get something to eat and drink while you just watch this beautiful pause screen and watch Paimon floating. But try to focus on what's behind Paimon. Alright, I'll be back. And so, not even 3 minutes in, right by Paimon's crown, you can see the first crab to spawn. Now, we are not going to be able to pick up this crab because it is right above the water. And as soon as it touches that water, it is going to despawn because it is going to be too deep in the water. The crabs don't spawn in that deep water, but it will spawn and survive in the shallows. But this is proof that the crabs will spawn if you just leave the game paused like this. And I mentioned this earlier in the stream, that this is not a method that works in co-op, because when you pause your game in co-op, it doesn't freeze everything. Do they spawn indefinitely? Yes, but it is a limited spawn until you collect them all and it resets. It does this every 20 minutes or so. My main crab spawn point when I was doing this regularly was in Guyun's Stone Forest. I would just stand on a rock as Kazuha for about 20 minutes, then collect the crabs and do it for another 20 minutes. Now, obviously, most people don't have time to be standing on this rock for 20 minutes at a time over and over and over again to collect 100 or even 200 crabs like me over the course of a single day. But let's just say the pandemic gave me a lot of free time on my hands, not only to do this, but to actually figure out the science behind it. This isn't something that I found online. I actually made this. It is one of those weird spawning mechanisms that you find and you just want to study more. Then you realize it could lead to so many different things. How many crabs spawn every 20 minutes? That depends on the location. Part of my research was not only determining how many crabs would spawn at Guyun's Stone Forest, I was finding these special crab spawn locations all across Tibet. Huh. Another unique animation of Paimon if you wait long enough in this menu. Anyway, the first place I found this exploit, or I don't even think I can call it an exploit. It is a genuine mechanic. So let's just call it that, a mechanic. The first time I came across this mechanic was during the first instance of the Golden Apple Archipelago. After finishing everything, I just collected crabs on the central island and then just climbed up on the rock, paused, and went to go get something to eat. Just normal stuff. Then I come back and I see a crab floating in midair. I unpause, trying to collect it, it falls. But not only that, I also see crabs rising up from the sand. So they don't just spawn up high. Once we unpause, you'll actually see some crabs crawling up from the sand right up the coast. So I'm wondering, what in the world just happened? So I collect them. I think, get back on the rock and pause it again. This time I'm actually watching it happen. Then I see it. Crab spawns in midair. Unpause. Same thing happens. It is a repeatable phenomenon. One that can actually be controlled. I'm ecstatic. I'm doing this over and over and over again for the rest of this patch. But then I realize these islands are going away. This isn't something I can just come back and do for months at a time. I gotta find another location. I gotta find another location where crabs can spawn like this. So I'm looking, and I find Guyun's Stone Forest. There are a good number of crabs along a area close to a teleport waypoint. So I use that, stand on the closest rock, pause the game, and wait. 20 minutes later, I find the same phenomenon. And that is when I start using Guyun Stone Forest for my primary crab collection. After that is when version 2.0 came out, when Inazuma showed up. I was mainly focused on the actual Archon quest at that time, but after that, I decided to do a little bit of experimentation because at that time I was still going back to Guyun Stone Forest to collect crabs, but I wanted to know, how far does this mechanic go? This unique quirk of the mechanic. So I started looking around Inazuma for a location where crab spawn could actually be implemented. And it is actually very close to Rito. There's a location very close to Rito on the other side of that sandy beach, closer to a waterfall, where you can just collect crabs, pause, and then collect crabs again, but it doesn't have the same spawn rate you would expect at Guyun Forest. It's one of those fascinating things. Then Sumeru came out. You wouldn't think that there was a crab spawn location there, but there is. But not on the shore. It's somewhere inland in just a small tidal pool of sorts. Granted, it is occupied by fungi, so you have to beat those first. Then you can use it to farm crabs. But I honestly found it very fascinating. And it wasn't until after I found this that I thought, maybe I should go back through Mondstadt to see if there was a crab spawn location there. So I went back to where it all began, that beach that we showed up on. There are crabs there on occasion, but there isn't significant crab spawn there. But then I came to this lake. I thought, there's a decent body of water here, a little bit of sand. I'll stand on this rock, pause, and see what we find. And, lo and behold, we have crabs. Now, I haven't been able to find such a location in Fontaine or Natlan yet, but since this is proof that crab spawn is still working, maybe I really should go back and investigate Fontaine. Maybe actually do a stream of me just standing on rocks trying to force crabs to spawn. The crab spawn rate? That is an excellent question. The way I rate crab spawn in a way is not only by the crabs that fall, but also the surface area they fall on. Because as I said, if they fall in water that's too deep, they'll just despawn outright. So you need, when farming crabs like this, whatever location you find, even if you find a new location all on your own, you need to understand the balance between the area in which the crabs can spawn from, be it from up underneath the ground or right in the air, and the surface area that they can land on. That ratio is important for acquisition. You can't have a crab spawn location and have that area that the crabs spawn in be entirely over water that's all too deep. So, in my opinion, Guyun Stone Forest is still the best place for spawning crabs because it has plenty of shallows in the area where the crabs spawn. Shallows which are known to actually be able to hold crabs. And best of all, one thing I have actually seen is that when crabs are actually shown on your screen and then it starts raining, they will run for cover. However, if a crab is on your screen that's already underwater in shallow water and it starts raining, they won't be affected by that kind of behavior. So, Guyun Stone Forest is also good in that the crabs that spawn there won't typically be affected by adverse weather. Alright. So it's been about 20 minutes since I've paused, or maybe 18 since I was talking a bit. So, we are going to unpause the game now and see how many crabs actually rise up. So we got 3, 2, 1, and we see 1, 2. We got 4 crabs there, and the one that was above the water despawned. And there we go. Now, because, as I said, surface area is important, especially when you account for terrain. As I said, water that's too deep, it'll despawn immediately. A sandy terrain is best for crabs to fall on, especially when rising from the ground. But you also saw that one crab that was in the grass. This is one of the downsides of this location, and there's a crab right there. And another one right there. But you saw that. That crab that was right over here came out of nowhere. This is the downside of this crab, of this location, because while crabs do spawn, there's plenty of room to spawn. There is very little visible room for them to spawn, because they'll actually spawn in the tall grass. Meaning you will not actively see them in time before they start scuttling away, unless you're using a character like Sayu to mask your presence. And there's another crab. So as you can see, the crab spawn method is very effective, but you have to be very alert about where you want to use for the crabs to spawn. Because it's no good if the crabs are all hiding in the grass and they see you before you see them. Do I have a Discord channel? Yes. I have a link in the description of all of my streams to my Discord server, the Sunset Grove.
Oh, how many forging commissions do I still have to finish? Let's see.
So, yeah.
1, 2... not so many as I thought. Oh,
alright. So the main location for Crabsun and Guyun Stone Forest is right here.
Bring it!
Standing on this rock. And you can usually get crabs along this area of the tidal pool and along this shore. There are usually about 2 or 3 crabs over here, 5 crabs here, and possibly 3 over there. Which is why I recommend killing all the hilichurls before you start doing this farming, and you'll be good for about 12 hours until the hilichurls respawn.
Illusion shattered! Laid bare!
So yes, this is a good place for them to spawn, but it's not good if you're looking for immediate gains, just walking around as soon as you arrive. You'll get the occasional crab, but you won't get the 10 or 11 you could get by waiting 20 minutes on a rock. I recommend the rock because I have never actually seen a crab actually spawn on top of rocks, even in the Golden Apple Archipelago. So it usually is a safe area far away from the actual crab spawn location, so you don't accidentally trigger their awareness and make them run before you're ready to collect them. Alright. And the other area in Inazuma is right here. Now here you actually can come for immediate crabs, but not sure about this time around since it's raining. Oh, we got some. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now sometimes you'll get crabs on top of this rock, but not often. I don't know if it is just if it's a coincidence or if it is the devs actually making it so these crabs only dig in sand and dirt and not dig straight through rock when they're trying to escape. But it is a behavior you can actually keep track of. Alright. Now, since the Sumeru location isn't on the coast, I remember actually placing a marker. Yep. Right here. I placed a marker specifically so I could remember where this crab spawn location was.
Wow. Where did my sunglasses go?
I see everything.
Overruled.
Alright. So this is a crab spawn location, but there it is. That's one. It does have a lot of water. Not enough water to despawn them, but it also has little... Did that fungi just drown itself? That was a hydrofungus. How is that even possible? Anyway. Anyway, you have water just shallow enough to collect crabs for them to spawn. But you also have moss and lily pads that they can hide under. So it's not the most ideal, but if you know what you're doing and are prepared to catch them, this is a good location. And this ends the tour of the known crab spawn locations. Oh yes, there is a general chat. I have it set up so I verify each member manually, as opposed to leaving role role acquisition to a bot and then something going horribly wrong while I'm away from my computer.
I was watering it every day. Ugh, don't tell me I overdid it this
I feel like that is a better route to go to than just immediately going for a popular bot to handle roles. So I'll take care of that as soon as this stream ends. But yeah, that is crab spawn as of today. And that is how I have collected so many crabs over the course of 4 years.
We should take a break after all that running around.
So that And that was actually the main start to what I do on this channel, collecting crabs for Genshin Impact. Then it evolved into collecting Sunsetia. And I actually have a few streams, Road to Sunsetia, where I would just run across all of known to that, collecting all of the possible Sunsetias I can from both trees and barrels that have a high tendency of spawning Sunsetia. I still can't believe I can remember those barrels, and I feel like I should do more of those streams now since Natlan came out, because you wouldn't believe how many locations in Natlan actually have Sunsetia. But I've rambled long enough this time around. So we'll end it for today. Thank you so much to everyone who came to watch this stream today and engaged today. I really appreciate it. And to those of you who come to watch the playback later, I also appreciate your view. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications if you want to be notified of the next Genshin Impact stream. It's good to be back after 2 months of streaming nothing but Honkai Star Rail, Atelier, Yumiya, and a little bit of Kirby Air Ride. And, I should get back to Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess too. And for those of you who have been forsaken by the YouTube algorithm, not getting notifications of streams and videos on time, think about joining the Sunset Grove Discord. Again, the link is in the description, and I usually put my notifications for my streams and certain videos around an hour or 30 minutes ahead of time, giving you plenty of time to decide, do I have time to tune in or will I have to watch the playback? Either way, you are welcome. Once again, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.